Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. We hope y'all had a good week. How was your week, Bama Dad? That's your cue, Bama Dad.
Been pretty good. Started doing some case prep work for the 300 PRC. Had to make some shout outs for that little dilemma that I told you about. But other than that, everything's moving along.
Good deal, man. Good deal. I think you got some news for us later about code. We'll get back to that.
Oh, the
CB Live.
Yeah.
We'll get that going here in a little bit. Six, how was your week, buddy?
It was a good week. Didn't complain about it. And weather here and stuff. We got some shooting done this past weekend. Air gun stuff anyway. Had a good Labor Day weekend. Built a computer. Stuff like that. Been good. How about you, Dr. Zink?
Dr. Zink had a good week. Hectic as hell at work, but I'm off every Wednesday now. So Wednesday right now is range day. So a bad day at the range beats a great day at work.
Heck yeah.
Good day at the range. Everything worked out. Figured out a few bugs. And been reloading all week long since then. Getting ready for next Wednesday. How about you over there?
Well, I had a decent week. It was slow at work. Dove hunting was weird. Monday, they flew for about 45 minutes like gangbusters, and a little breeze started, and they just shut off. That was it. We're not in their flyway anymore. It's more over toward Bama Dad and Six, and it doesn't come down through here like it used to. At least that's my assumption. But anyway, I killed 3 birds with 10 shots, so I still got it. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up and limp around there in that plowed field to find them too good. I didn't anticipate that. So some nice young man walked up and said, "Sir, are you looking for a dove?" And I went, "Yes, sir. I sure am." And he went, "I found one over here. Is that yours?" And I said, "Yep, that's mine." I said, "I got one more out here." And I handed him both those doves. I said, You eat them?" He said, "Yeah, I love them." I said, "You find that other one, you can keep it." He found the other one. But they had a good lunch. It's an old-timey dove hunt, old-timey southern dove hunt. They had a good lunch, and it wasn't hot at all, and a lot of camaraderie and joking and good times, even if the shooting wasn't all that great. But
that's like Andy says, a good day in a dove field is better than a bad day at work. Or a bad day in a dove field is better than a day at work.
A good day at work.
One of those things.
Right. Yeah. We know what you mean. Anyway, Kyle, what you have this week?
Oh, man, just work. Good thing is I got that extra 8 hours of pay, so, that'll work. I'll put that in a rat hole somewhere, and I'm sure I'll spend it before I get it, but, such is life. Been actually dusted off the reloading bench, found that it still had a metal top, and actually loaded up some 9mm and some 44 Magnum. So that's all well and good. And it's all trusted loads and through all of my firearms. So nothing wrong with that.
Very good, very good.
Cool.
Talk to us, Walter.
I had a pretty good week. I got to the range, had a little bit of spicy time at the range this week. I'd got a hold of an old single cavity Lee 410 240 semi-wad cutter, 240 grain semi-wad cutter bullet for 41 mag. it was in horrible condition. I got it all cleaned up and refurbed and cast a few up, went to the range, started looking around for load data. And I went into the Lyman number 3 cast bullet handbook, and they had some data for a similar bullet using Blue Dot. And I got a can of Blue Dot for next to nothing not too long ago, and so I'll try this. Boy, did their data not match what I got. Oh man, they were talking like a range of between 11 and 14 grains, and at the top 14 grains, it should have. It was like 14.7 grains. Should have maxed out at around 1,100 feet per second. Man, I was right in the middle of those two, and it was already at 1350, and I had another step to go, which I didn't shoot.
Ooh.
I was shooting the Smith and Wesson, and I thought, hey, this is Ruger material here. I'm not going to shoot that
That's a
next
screaming
load.
Mimi.
It would have been a 240 grain bullet and a 41 mag going close to 1,400 feet per second. And I thought, I think I'll bring the Ruger back and shoot those last half dozen or so that I got.
That's why the powers that be invented the bullet pulling hammer.
Well, let me finish the story, because I had 10 of those at that level, and I brought them home. I thought, well, I'll just pull them. Well, they're powder coated. And so a collet bullet puller just does not work on those. They're too slippery. So I got Lizzie Borden out, and I was at 40 whacks already. Was having trouble pulling. I pulled 4. I said, I'm going to shoot the rest of these out of the Ruger. I'm not gonna pull them. They're too much work. It's easier to tape up my hands than it is to
Yeah,
pull.
Lord.
So anyway, it was a fun day. There will be film at 11, like in a couple weeks or something like that, because that's going to be a moldy Monday. But anyway, yeah, a good week for me. I did some other fun stuff, but that was the highlight.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Walks Fletcher said those are my kind of loads. Yeah.
Yeah, they were stout.
Just stick a thumb in it.
Yeah. Well, plus those bullets weren't cast all that hard. They were only at maybe 16 BHN. If you're going to shoot stuff like that, they need to be linotype, even if powder coated, I think.
There's Curtis. Hey, Curtis.
Oh yeah, Curtis.
He says he likes Ramshot Enforcer and 41 mag.
Yeah. 42-27 works pretty good too sometimes, but
42-27 works good. A lot of stuff.
That was my go-to 270 powder, actually. Sounds weird, but it worked.
What's good to load? Use Winchester 296 powder. What's it?
9mm, 40, 45.
9mm.
296. Nothing, man. Nothing.
It don't work, and there's no listings for that.
You just need to put that in a box and send it to me, and I'll fertilize my plot.
I don't have any listing for it in 9 mil.
It's the same as H110, so you can use it for 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum.
Oh yeah, I know it's
the
the
same.
H110. I loaded up some 357s with it. I'm like at 13.5 grains, and the freaking bullet was slower than my junk powder that I use.
I'm sorry, I do this all the time. I got 296 confused with 231.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Discount everything I just said.
that's bad mojo there, dude.
I got that. I had picked up an 8-pound jug of that from somebody that was unloading it sealed for $50 like 2 years ago.
I remember
I
that
haven't
when you
figured
got
out anything else I can load with it yet. It
So
wants
this is a thing that we need to always say. You alone are responsible for the safety of yourself, your equipment, and your bystanders by checking your own load data and not doing anything that we talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
It would be bad if you hear a load on here and then go load it and then it blows up your gun and hurts your mother-in-law while she's standing by watching you shoot.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be too bad.
I'm about to say, I don't know if that'd be necessarily a bad thing.
There's
Just
crash.
I'll just put a thumb in it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You
I
can
don't know,
you can load.
William, that's I had 13.2 grains, and it was about to compress. So you tell me how the hell that 16.5 grains will work.
You just have to push the hammer down harder.
It shoots at 300 blackout pretty good too.
It works in 300.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's a standard powder H110 296.
Oh, I didn't look at that up because I don't use those powders. I remember I got that. I got other powders that I use. I just picked that up. I said $50. I got me something like a lower, and I never checked it out.
And like Jamie said, don't take this to the bank, but 296 and 110 are pretty much the same.
Yeah, they are.
They're identical almost. Lot to lot differences, but
I want to start trying some 30-30 with 2400.
Oh,
That's a very versatile powder too.
No, I just trying to come up with what I can use it for. I didn't even think about
Since I got
blackout.
7
I
pounds
love
of
powders
stuff,
that I
you know.
use.
I've still got an unopened bottle of 8 pounds of Ramshot Silhouette. And the bad part about that is you can be off 1/10 of a grain and it matters.
yeah,
Well, it's
buddy.
like tight group. You can go crazy. It don't take much to go
But
over
now-
either.
Now, that powder Kyle does meter real well. If you
Right.
out of anything, it meters real well.
But 4.2 versus 4.3 is a big difference.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
Well, it's like unique. You don't play with unique lightly. You better pay
No.
attention to what you're doing.
Now,
You
if
know,
I'm using unique, I trickle up to it.
Well, it's kind of like the Richter scale. I was talking to a boy, and he was like, "I'm loading 44 Magnum." I said, "Really? That's what you're loading it with?" He said, "Unique." I went, I said, "How's your case feel?" He said, "Well, he was new, and I tried this grain." He said, "Then I went up 0.1 or 0.01, and I said, 'Son, are you really knowledgeable about how they do earthquakes?' I said, they go up incrementally. So 0.01 is like 10 times bigger than, the one behind it." I said, at a point, unique gets like that. And I said, you better be careful because you'll go from, wow, that was hot, to, wow, where'd that index finger go? So,
Where'd my receiver go?
I'm using
exactly.
in 357. I'm with my zinc bullets, 103 grains. It's 170 grain bullet in lead. It's 103 grains in zinc. 7.8 grains of unique coming out at 1,680 feet per second.
Yep.
And that's like the case is like half full. It's so nice to have that chronograph. I'm telling you. Between the load date I get from quick loads, the information I base it on, and then I go shoot it, and it's like pretty damn close. I'm happy with that.
I had a little blurb come across my phone. I don't know who it was from. I'm sorry, guys, and it could have been total BS because I don't believe hardly anything. It might have been on an email, but it was talking about a limited run of trail balls being out there.
Oh, it's
And I
already
looked-
been.
Oh, has it?
Big
Okay.
CW sent that to me.
Okay,
But,
gotcha.
I went in a couple of weeks ago and signed in on my Midway,
Yeah.
and it showed that I had a message, and it said Trail Boss was in. So I went and looked, and it was already sold out.
Yeah. And same thing happened to me. I was all set to snatch some, and time I got, tried to put something in my cart, it was gone.
Yeah, so I don't even know what price they was charging for it.
I don't either.
It's a good sign though. that it's coming back.
Several
I'm
people.
still sitting on 2 pounds of donuts, so I'm good.
Yeah, I
Yep.
got 4 or 5 pounds left, but I've been hoarding it though. I've been using it.
That's all that's in the container. The container's only 9 to 10 ounces.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bought a 5-pound keg though,
That's
and it had 5 pounds in it when I bought it.
Yeah, I got 3 bottles of it, so I think that's about 2 pounds.
There's Preacher's Day off. Welcome in, brother.
Hey, preacher.
That just shows you how bulky Trail Boss is.
Yeah. That's
So
all it is.
if it fills up 16 ounces worth, but it's only 9 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you buy a
What
lot
is
of
the
air
number
when you-
one rule of the Trail Boss?
Don't squeeze the donuts.
Right.
Don't crush the donut.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't compress that stuff.
But it is the
If
preferred
you
powder
hear
of
it
sheriffs and
cracking-
outlaws.
Oh, it's a great powder, but do not just don't. If you hear it start cracking and everything, just go ahead and
Yep.
pull that bullet and dump it back out and
Oh
start
man,
over.
listen, I love 45 Colt cowboy loads in that thing.
Mhm.
It makes you look absolutely like, it makes you look like Val Kilmer in Tombstone. I mean,
Man, it's great in 44s too.
sure.
Actually, using other powders is actually better. Like I'm using
What's that?
I'm using Tight Group, and I like it
Yeah.
better than Trail Boss.
Yeah.
It's actually less powder, so you get more per pound.
Yeah, and it's
How
not
do you,
position sensitive either. So a light
No.
charge is you're still gonna get good complete burns with it.
Yeah, 3.4 grains in a 9mm, 115 or 124 grain bullet. Either one, it works. But that's a very small charge, and you can get a
Tex,
lot of charges out of a
Tex,
pound.
are you putting a little fill in there, or are you letting it lay horizontal?
Nope, just doing
No
2.5.
problem.
I'm doing 2.5 with that Lee 125 bullet.
Yep.
I have no problems.
Gotcha.
I'm using 3.
We started out with 3, I believe it was, but I've been backing it down. I'm down around 2.5.
I had a real
What's-
good load with 3.9 grains and 155 grain bullet last week. It ran really good and only coming in on a little over 800 feet per second, 850 right about in there someplace. So it turned out to be a really good load.
I've
I like
got
the Trail Boss better for my 30-30 than I do in handguns.
I've got a couple thousand of the Valiant 200 grain round nose I use for the powder puff loads, and just had them forever. And I think it was like 4.5 of Trail Balls or something like that, and it gave a good case feel. I was always worried about like powder laying horizontal, but if you're saying the ignition's good on that that other powder, then you never had a problem with it. With that, that's awesome.
Yeah, Harm made a good statement there, Jamie. Might want to blow that up.
Yeah, I seen that. I was just
Tight Group
reading.
heavies. So careful with.
You got to
Yep.
be extra careful with Tight Group.
Yep.
Little goes a long way.
And not
Yep.
just that, its specialty is not being position sensitive in the case.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to go off and it's going to burn and it's going to send the bullet down range. It don't matter if you got anything on top of it or not. Yeah, it
Well,
feels
even-
good to talk reloading, don't it, guys?
Even at the 2.5 in the 38s, it's still got a good bark to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Tight Group's one of my favorites, particularly for Well, for the cowboy action figure, and 9 millimeter, it does it. There's a reason they call it Tiger. It
Yeah.
shoots really
I
good.
love it in 9 and 40 and 45.
It's a
It's
good
awesome.
all around powder. It's like 231, you know. I mean, they're not really comparable, but they're both pretty versatile powders for handguns.
I have
I
not
still got some
used
HP 38
30
down there in the
cowboy.
basement somewhere.
Hmm.
Here's a good one. How fast have you got a bullet to travel with tight grip? I've
Depends
not
on what bullet.
chronoed any of mine, but that's going to depend a lot on how much that bullet weighs and what cartridge it's coming out of.
Hmm.
My Zinkers and my 9 millimeter, it's 147 grain lead bullet, right? It's 93 grains in zinc, or 90 grains. With tight group, it's coming out at about 1,200 feet per second, and that's not a hard charge. It's
Yeah.
like 3 grains or something.
And I still got some of those zinc ones you sent me loaded up in 35 Remington. And I got 5. I still got some of the bullets, but I still got 5. We shot probably 25 or 30 of them. And man, there's just no recoil, and it's flat out flying. Man. It's
You want some more? I'm not using the ones that I got cast because I can't load them in the tube in the Rossi. They don't feed. So I have to drop them one by one. And even then they don't want to go in. So I'm not really getting to use that for much. So I got a bunch. So I'll have to get you a box.
Well, I bought that mold and NOE, the round point ones.
Yeah.
They shoot so good out of 35 Remington. That's pretty unbelievable.
Do you like it better than the Lee?
I think I have some of them cast up in lead too. I have to see what I got.
Can I use one of your chargers, please?
There's Mock.
Hey, Mock, hold on a minute, guys. For the phone,
No, my tablet. I just need to see.
Chargers. I need chargers.
Gotta love it. And here's on a side note, my baby boy turns 21 years old today.
Oh boy, that's a big day
Yeah.
for him and for you.
Yeah. My baby girl turns 21 this February, 3 days before my birthday. And I'm going to remind her that she's officially an adult, not just tried like an adult, just officially an adult. In other words, you need to be thinking about another place to live when you get out of college.
It could happen.
Yeah,
keep dreaming, Pop.
it could.
Yeah, they'll come back when they're between 30 and 40. And at that point, they're just waiting for you to die and get out of the house so they can. You understand that, right?
Yeah, thanks, bub. I waited. My mom, I think this was before my mama passed away, got sick, passed away. But when I got a divorce, I was going to go set up a cot in the boiler room at work. And when me and my ex first separated, that's where I was going to sleep. I stopped by to tell mom and dad, hey, bad news, I'm getting a divorce. And mom said, you ain't going to stay in no boiler room. You're going to stay right here. I'm going to put you up there, blah, blah, blah. Go get your clothes. And they were soaking wet because I threw them in the back of the truck and I ran into a thunderstorm. Well, then I come home like day 3 of moving back in with mom, and mom left me a note. Hey, our water pressure's a little low. Could you check the blah, blah, blah? And then the next day it was, hey, there was maintenance to do all the time. And I was I was getting to bed at like 9:30 at night from all these, Mama, you're wearing me out. Here, I'll give you money for groceries. I'll buy you I'll buy you a month's worth of groceries. Just stop leaving them notes. No, I like him notes. I bet you do. I couldn't get out of there fast enough, buddy. Couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Yeah, I messed around and moved all the way to Vegas when that happened to me. I'm like, I'm getting as far away from them as I can.
Yeah, that's pretty drastic.
All right, guys. Couple things I want to talk about tonight. We talked about Colt last time. We talked about Revolver Evolution, and we talked about the Smith and Wesson's Model 1 and when they came out. Let's see. Trying to find the year. I guess it was around 1856 or 1858. Then the 1.5. We talked about the cartridges and so on and so forth. And but the Model 1, it was extremely popular all the way through the Civil War. And the thing about the Model 1 was the Union soldiers liked it, the Confederate soldiers liked it, and the civilians, they liked the idea of having a repeating gun. And so it was very popular and stayed popular through the war. And there's our historian.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing, Mark?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. How's your week been?
Well, a little bit long. We only had a 4-day week, but it felt like a month.
Yeah, I know. When butts are in seats, school is a different world, ain't it?
Yes, it is. But I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to it all week. So, sorry I'm a little bit late. Just had to get some things cleaned up, and here I am. Good.
Well, we're going to, I guess that's a good stopping point for till we go through the side chat. And then we'll pick up with talking about Smith & Wesson some more. And then I got another topic I want to talk about. But it's 8:30, so it's time to say hey to all you nice folks out there watching. Walter?
And you're muted.
I'm clueless. I don't have anything. What do you got, Jamie?
Walks has got it. S&W.
There you go. That's easy. I can even spell that one.
Well, that's why I look for numbers or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Bama Dad, remind me to address those codes that you gave us when I get done with this.
Sure thing.
So this was Walks Fletcher's idea. So Walks was first. And, then let's see, we got Texas 6 is in the panel and in the side chat. Bama Dad's on the panel and in the side chat. So is Walter Viejo, Mike Hester, the Rebel is also on the panel. Crash is out there. Glenn Davis. Andy 79Z28 is also on the panel. There's William C. Chapin. Good to see you, Curtis. Edward Petty, Bobby Barlow, Old One Guy, Casey Dolph. And we are, that puts us up to date pretty much. Glenn Davis is out there. We got a lot more watching than just the few I called out. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I don't have my
Senior
phone. I
Master
can type on my laptop. So
Bulldogs out
Kyle's
there.
on the panel too. Senior Master Sergeant Bulldogs driving down the road. So we called out the Bulldog man. So yeah, something we call y'all's name out, and we want y'all to be aware that we see you out there. Sometimes y'all make comments or ask questions or something, and when it really gets going, we might not see at that particular time. So if yeah, Bud with the guns out there too. No, you can't make me mad, Bo. You just can't. And GGW Outdoors is out there. Go Dogs.
Woof, woof.
So I hope I got everybody. Okay, back to Smith and Wesson and look at that nice picture behind Dr. Zink there. Okay, so the thing about, and I think all y'all know this, Confederates especially pretty much had, if they wanted something, they had to buy it pretty much. Now a lot of the states had their own arsenals and bought guns to distribute to their troops, but like we talked about, Smith and Wesson wouldn't sell to Confederate states, and Colt did at the beginning of the war, but then he stopped. So Confederates were having to buy whatever they could get, and a lot of their guns were good, but most of them weren't. So they had problems. But like I said in previous episodes of this talking about the evolution of revolvers, there were a lot of companies out there making guns. Now, when we talk about Colt and Smith and Wesson, and we talk about Winchester and Marlin and some of the other companies that were making these rifles, there were a lot of places making them. But the Model 1 was so popular that Smith & Wesson had to build a big, newer manufacturing facility on Stockbridge Street in Springfield, Massachusetts. But guess where Smith & Wesson headquarters are located today? They're in Maryville, Tennessee.
Good old Rocky Top.
Oh boy, you're about to get booted from the chat. So in 1870, Smith & Wesson introduced the Model 3, often regarded as one of the most iconic revolvers in American history. It was a top-break, single-action revolver chambered in .44 caliber, and the U.S. Army adopted the .44 Smith & Wesson American chambered Model 3 Schofield as standard issue, making it the first cartridge firing revolver in the U.S. service. And let me see if I can do this. Y'all want to see a picture of it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, they will, Vanessa Kitty. The revolvers will probably always be made there in Massachusetts.
They got too much invested in that plant.
Well, yeah, and that's a fine art. That's a Model 3.
They're cool. I've got a clone of it made by Huberti.
Even the clones are not cheap.
No, they're expensive. They don't sell a lot of them, I guess, but
That's
and
a
the clone's
fine-
not really chambered in Schofield either. It's really chambered in .45 Colt.
Yeah, I think. Well, the cartridge they call the .44 Smith & Wesson American.
Right.
I think it's pretty similar to 4440 without the bottleneck. But I don't know that. I'm guessing. So let's stop sharing this. So at the same time, on the other side of the aisle there, Colt was bound by the Smith & Wesson patent on the bore-through revolver and couldn't begin developing their own metallic cartridge-powered revolver until 1869. But when that day came, Colt hit the ground running, and in 1872, Colt offered the now legendary Colt Single Action Army up for the military service revolver trials, which they won. And so the Colt Single Action Army was the standard issue for the Army from 1873 until 1892. But on the other side of the country, the revolver's history became intertwined with the Wild West era, where famous figures like Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, and Wild Bill Hickok relied on their revolvers for personal protection. The Colt Single Action Army and Smith & Wesson's Model 3 were instrumental in this period's firearm folklore. So something that and things stayed like that for a good long while, and I think that's where we'll leave it. But just for a couple of minutes, there's Artac and Daughters. What's going on, bud? That's good. Walk says that 44 Winchester centerfire has an inside lubed bullet.
So Walter, you were saying that that Schofield you got shoots 45 Colts.
Yeah, it's actually chambered in 45 Colt rather than Schofield.
So the older ones couldn't handle the 45 Colt, right?
The older ones, the reason that Smith put it in that Schofield in the first place was that they didn't want to extend the frame of the Model 3 to accept a 45 Colt. And so that's why Schofield himself, was able to talk him into a little bit shorter cartridge.
What about the diameter of the cartridge too, the rim?
The rim diameter of the Schofield cartridge is greater than that of the 45 Colt. So if you tried to put 45 Colt into a Schofield cylinder, it won't work. But you could put a Schofield into a Single Action Army 45 Colt, but you couldn't get, in some cases, you couldn't get all 6 of them in there. You'd have to skip a cylinder. You might only get 3 of them in there because the diameter of the case head was bigger.
I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, the Schofield's got a bigger diameter case head than a 45 Colt. So, the guys who had the Single Action Armies could shoot Schofield rounds, but they might not get all, 5 or 6 of them in there. But the opposite wasn't true. If you had a Schofield Model 3, you couldn't put a 45 Colt in. It wouldn't fit. It's too long.
Well, as far as length, but as far as spacing for the rims,
yeah,
one was smaller than the other.
Yep, the Colt's a little bit narrower, a little bit skinnier in that dimension. In this clone that I have in the Cimarron reproduction, it will hold 6 Schofield rounds, no problem. But that's because it's a repro, I guess, and they actually chambered it in 45 Colt.
That means they opened that bolt circle up with them cylinders then.
Yeah, and I think that the frame is a little bit longer than the original 45 Schofield Model 3 as well.
I'm just thinking as a machinist thing is like all they had to do was open that bolt circle up just a couple thousandths, and they'd all fit in the chamber.
And yeah, in the single action army, you could have got 6 of them in there if they'd have done that. You know, made that cylinder just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it would take but a few thousandths on the bolt circle for that.
Yeah, they're real close.
Sorry, Walter, had to.
Not far from the truth.
Walk's got the answer. 1877 U.S. Ordnance Department came out with 45 government. Schofield case with a 44 WCF size rim.
Yep. There was a different name for that. I forget what maybe it was the 1877 case. It had a different name to it.
Talking about some of the famous people from the Old West, can y'all think of a particular guy that preferred a specific gun, whether it be the Colt or the? I know Wild Bill Hickok liked his 51 Navies.
I think Doc used a Lightning.
I
know Billy the Kid used a Lightning.
Now, I thought he liked the Schofield.
He did like a Schofield, but he liked the Lightning too.
Yeah, what's not to like, right?
Right, sure. Those Lightnings and Thunderers were awful fragile, though. They said their internal components were really prone to break.
Yeah, they're doing something new there. So, yeah, I think, we always see the iconic pictures of Wyatt Earp with those long barrel single action armies. I don't know that was as historically accurate.
That was presented to him by a certain city that he worked, and thank you for his service. And it was a bunt line, and it had his badge and all that stuff. But I don't know that he ever carried it. It was in a showpiece,
Yeah.
They never really said, in a lot of the books, they never really said what the Earp brothers preferred. They just knew when to go to work with them. That was their, no matter what they were carrying, they knew when to go to work with them. And of course, Doc went to work. Arguably, to some historians, he started the whole thing, the whole fight. Just that particular fight in the alley, just for being a smart butt. But I could see that.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if you're carrying a double barrel and everybody else is carrying a pistol, I'd be a smart butt too.
Well, there's that.
Or as it was called in the movie, the street howitzer.
I think Jesse James preferred the Schofield.
Yes, I heard that. I know that, oh, Lord. Kyle, help me. Once shot a man just for snoring.
John Wesley Harden.
Mhm.
Thank you. His name's slipping my mind. He liked the thunder or the lightning as well.
I got that Time Life book.
I like shooting that Model 3. It's interesting at the range because with the regular uh, revolver, it's easy to dump your cases into your hand if you don't want them in the dirt. Hard to do that with that Schofield.
That's a cavalry gun,
And you have to eject them the way they were designed to be ejected, as I quickly discovered. Because if you try to let them out of there slow, one of those cases will get trapped between the cylinder face and the ejection star, and now you've got a problem on your hands because it is hard to get them out.
They were made to get rid of quick.
Yep. So with that one, you might as well just let them go to ground.
Let the brass
Pick 'em up
gods
later.
have theirs.
Yep. Fortunately, they're big enough to easy to find. But
I'm going to bail out. I got my painter coming early tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks for being here.
Good to see you, Andy.
Appreciate
good night,
it.
Andy.
Everybody
Good night,
have a
Andy.
great weekend.
Thanks again, Andy.
Too.
You're welcome, Mark.
I know. In much later years, golly, I can't remember anybody's name tonight. The man that killed the sheep herder, they made the movie about, Tom Horn. Tom Horn's preferred rifle was actually a 30-30 because he really liked the fact that it didn't leave a puff of smoke for people to look at, where he give away his location. He made a living being an assassin, and can't take that away from him. They use that against him. But people like Bass Reeves, he was a badass dude, but I don't know what his preferred pistol was.
Loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bass Reeves didn't take no junk. He's like who they based Rooster Cogburn off of. He'd go into the Nations, and I was a kid. I wondered what the Nations was. What's the Nations? What is this mystical place where you can just go be an outlaw? I wanted to go there.
This mystical place.
Yeah. Well, it's gone.
There's a
It is
good.
now Oklahoma.
Yeah.
There's Papa's place too. That's basically what they did. 2 or 3 old guys would open the shop and reverse engineer a Colt.
Yep. Back in those days, it took a little while before the patent office called up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it didn't matter anyway. We wasn't part of the patent office anyway at that
That's
time. Not down here in the South anyway.
Nope. If you read a lot of, Louis L'Amour always liked to be historically accurate on his pistols, and if you read a couple of his novels, you found out real quick there was a whole lot of makers of firearms that people carried besides Colt. A lot of them were black powder conversions, like Wesley Richards or whatnot, but some of them were straight up center fires, and a lot of old companies. H&R is an old name. Ivor Johnson's an old name, but
and good names.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how old H&R was till I bought one. Didn't know
Yeah,
that.
H&R's. 18, what, 50 something?
Yeah, I was thinking 60, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mama, Dad, you want to talk about this for a minute? Harbor Freight, Apache
Yeah.
rifle cases.
Got a coupon on their website for the large Apache rifle case. It's a $30 coupon, drops it down to $119.99, which I haven't seen that price come down in over a year. Usually
Is
they
it a
don't drop
lockable
it down.
case?
Yes, it is.
So it is aircraft approved?
Yep.
So there you go, guys.
As long as you put a TSA lock on it.
Right.
Otherwise, they're going to cut your box. Hootie Hoo can show you. He's got a video of what they did to his Apache case.
Which I still hadn't figured out what a TSA approved lock is.
You-
Apparently, I locked it so good they had to cut the case open.
You literally what it is, it's a combination lock, but it has a key that all the TSA agents have a key that'll fit it.
I got you.
And
It's the key that you use to change the combination.
I couldn't tell you that for sure, but I would imagine.
That's what it is.
Oh, no, because you don't get that key. It doesn't come with the lock.
I know that AT&T uses that same padlock, and you've got a key no matter what the combination is set to. You can stick the key in there. As long as the key is in there, you can set it to all zeros and pull the key out, and it'll open.
That may be the same.
Don't ask me how I know that.
Maybe the same thing. I've seen TSA locks at Target and Home Depot and Lowe's and Staples and Office Depot. They all have them.
Here's another one you probably want to talk about. I have that same case, by the way, and I really like it.
Cool.
So,
And it
looking
comes
for
with,
something.
upper and lower padding, and also it comes with a big, practically 2-inch thick piece of the pull apart stuff, which I can't stand this stuff, but
Yeah, this is for transporting your gun, not for storing it.
Right.
You don't want to leave your gun in there with any oil on it.
No,
Well,
it'll suck the oil off
It's good
of
to
it.
know that it's aircraft approved, so you can take it somewhere if you're flying somewhere. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And Bama Dad's got another deal for us out there. CV Life 30% off site wide with code LB30. So if you like CV Life's scopes and optics, and they make a lot of stuff.
yeah, they got everything from backpacks, hydration packs, all the way to scopes, red dots, tripods, bipods.
I love
got
my
you.
little CZ Life or CV Life that I've got on my 300 Blackout. That thing is amazing. I don't know which one it is, but
I've got one of their scopes on one of my ARs. I think it's a 6x26 by 50. Way too much scope for that,
I
right?
say that's cheating.
So 67 Rebel SST AMC is out there.
Take a breath, Jamie. That's a long name.
I know, right?
I don't know. Jamie, did you ever get that? Did you get one of those leveling kits that I showed you?
No, I forgot to order it. I'll try to. It's in my cart on Amazon though. So all I gotta do is War Bull. All I gotta do is go pay for it.
It's identical to the Wheeler scope leveling kit.
So
Practically, I think the same place in China made them both.
67
Right.
Rebel has used that case several times. So good stuff. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bama Dad.
Well, that Warbull scope leveling kit, I think, what was it, Jamie? It's like $9.
It was 20 something.
Was it 20? Maybe 29 or something like that.
Now
But
I've got to
the
go over there and find out.
The Wheeler, the same version of it, and Wheeler was like $40 higher.
No, it was a good bit higher. But
The way I level my scopes is I get it set to where I think it's level and then let my wife look through it.
From what I've heard, you do a good job. I've heard about that cold bore shot.
I made a YouTube video.
actually, it went up $1 since I put it in my cart.
Really?
You should get a rain check on that one. They actually do that if you ask.
Yeah, it's gone up to $26. Are you getting the black one or the gold one? You pay $1 more for the gold one.
Black one. Ooh, I got a motorcycle tire on my and saved to later. It went up $20. So yeah.
I learned a long time ago, do not put anything in your cart that you don't intend to buy, because sometimes you'll get on there in a hurry and, you know, bing, bang, bang. And you ended up buying $800 worth of stuff when you only wanted $19 worth of a chopper, you know.
Well, it's I only got one actually in my cart. The others are saved for later.
Yeah, you learn that lesson too. You mark it save for later, not add to cart.
Yeah, do a double take. You get ready to check out, and
they're all on my wish list.
yeah.
And always double check your address, because my wife has been sending a lot of stuff to her sister's house instead of her house. I'll be coming down there this weekend. I got 4 more packages for her. Okay.
Thank goodness the sister doesn't live in another state.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I've sent stuff accidentally, stuff that I wanted to come to me in Georgia. I've sent it to Willie out in California. He called me up and said, "What is this?" I'm like, can you send it back? Send it to my house. I'll pay you. My bad.
Yeah, we all
Stick it on Amazon, and then you have to turn around and pay Willie to take it to the post office.
Yeah.
We got partial shipment in today.
Oh, you almost showed it.
It's for an upcoming video.
Show us again.
It's for upcoming videos.
All right.
Wad cutters. Crosswind Premier.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
That's partial order.
Cool.
So we're still waiting on some more stuff, huh?
Yeah. I got permission from Mr. Viejo down there to start a video series.
Airgun wad cutters, man.
Airgun wad cutter Wednesday.
Where have you ever seen a series on airgun wad cutters? Never. That's going to be cool.
It is going to be cool. I'm sitting here with 2 Gamos right next to me. One's a AR-15 style and one's a regular style, and both of them have upgraded triggers and nice optics on them. And actually broke one out earlier this afternoon and took care of a nuisance squirrel that's trying to eat through my house.
Yeah, perfect.
There's a particular topic I wanted to talk about tonight, and it's a little bit off the beaten path of what we usually talk about here. And folks, my wife is obviously blind. Yeah. So I don't know how much of this kind of stuff y'all keep up with uh, on the internet or on the news or whatever. Uh, but one thing that grabbed my attention was when it's been almost a year ago. Well, it was September 19th of last year, so 2 weeks short of. It was a Friday too. It was a Friday, so 2 weeks ago last year. No, I think it was a Thursday last year. I don't know, and it don't matter. But have you? How many of you guys on the panel and in the side chat have heard anything about uh, the sheriff shooting the judge in his chambers in Letcher County, Kentucky?
I did not hear about this, and I saw your thing, and I wanted to know more about it. So
I remember seeing it when it first happened, but I didn't pay any attention after that. I never saw anything.
There
more
was
than just a
rumors
little
of
blur.
adultery and all this kind of stuff, and all of a sudden, poof, it disappeared.
it must have been a busier
About the
news
judge
day
and
here.
the sheriff's daughter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sheriff called his daughter on the judge's phone. He called his daughter from his phone and she didn't answer. She called from the judge's phone and she did.
Wait a minute, let me do some background music. Ding, 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 ding,
When he was
ding.
dialing the number, it came up in his contacts.
There was all kinds of stuff that you heard, like within 30 minutes to 2 hours, and then you hadn't heard nothing about the entire thing.
Oh, I have. I've heard a ton about it.
What? Okay, so who was bumping uglies? The judge and
Everybody but the sheriff, apparently.
okay, I was gonna say, what was it? The judge and the sheriff, which would have been nasty. Was it the where did all this fall into place? All right.
Well, see, what started it all was about, from my understanding, sometime before the event happened, and that's what we'll call it, is the event. So as we won't offend anybody out there that. Okay, so Walks has not heard about it at all. Bo has. Apparently, Curtis has.
It hadn't been on the Sean Ryan podcast yet, so I ain't heard about it.
Yeah, his stuff is too long, but I've seen a lot of coverage from it from a lady YouTuber called Hillbilly Crime, and another one called just Fish is all I know him by. I wish I could share a link.
But anyway,
So there was this. The sheriff was deposed, which means he had to give a deposition in a civil lawsuit against the jailer who was trading favors from the female inmates in exchange for house arrest and wearing ankle bracelets and other things and other things and other things, and it gets terrible after that.
It got ignorant. Yeah.
So this man that is named in the lawsuit was found guilty of assault, SA as they say, and then one of the inmates, that happened a year or so ago. All right, this man was found guilty of this. This is a violation of everything that is moral and ethical. So he's found guilty. You know what the judge sentenced him with? Sentenced him to 6 months and probation. So he became an inmate in the jail that he was the jailer of. So
he was also pimping. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was taking these girls out to the big wigs in the county to quote unquote parties and all this stuff. I mean, it's literally makes Diddy look like an amateur.
Wow.
And I mean, it is the more you hear about it, the more crap goes on. And here in the last couple of weeks, I think Kyle and Rebel and I would all agree, and probably Bama Dad and Six as well. When I was growing up, there was a movie that came out called Walking Tall, and it was the story of Sheriff Buford Pusser and how he reclaimed the whole county for good. And he became one of our heroes, and he inspired a lot of kids my age up to Rebel's age or down to Rebel's age, and to become law enforcement, get involved in law enforcement, that kind of thing. Well, Walks, I'm not sure about that either, brother. Yeah, there's been some of that going on as well.
I'm sure there was.
So you're a little bit familiar with it, Six?
Yeah.
Who saw Walking Tall as a kid or since?
Yes,
The
sir.
original one.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Joe Don Baker.
Been a long time, but I've seen it.
I was
Saw it at the
I
drive-in.
carried from the age of 16 until 20. I carried a hand
A big
carved
stick.
hickory stick in my car, and I settled a couple arguments with it too. Nothing like a piece of hickory.
Well, see, what made me think about this and what made me want to talk about this on the stream tonight is, we see that stuff going on in Letcher County, Kentucky. Now the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation reopened the investigation into the ambush that wounded Buford Pusser and killed his wife.
Yep.
And they come out and held a press conference. I wished I could remember the name of the college. But there's a college in West Tennessee that will be the custodian of their investigation files. So you'll be able to go and look and print or whatever you want to do with their investigation. Well, it's well over 1,000 pages, and for a fee, once they get everything, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has not released all the documents yet because they're redacting some of the personal and private information of those involved in the case. They came out and held this press conference and said that their investigation was complete and that if Buford Pusser was still alive today, that they considered that they had enough evidence to seek an indictment from a grand jury for the murder of his wife. So since this came out, there's just been a flood of stuff going on about people who said, man, they had to get Buford off the street. I mean, in Western Tennessee, the sheriffs are elected for 2-year terms with a maximum of 3 terms. So you can only be the sheriff for 6 years. Well, he was elected for 6 years. And by the time he got out of there and that ambush, quote unquote, uh, laid him up pretty heavy for quite a while. But he was elected to 3 terms, and now it's coming out that he was pretty much a gangster with a badge.
Yeah, he was shaking. She was shaking down everybody there on that county line at that motel. Not that they weren't bad people too, but he was shaking them down. He wanted his cut. He wanted his cut of the moonshine. And I heard the term Dixie Mafia used there, and then there was a whole nother Dixie Mafia that I watched a whole series podcast on called In the Red Dirt. So there were several Dixie Mafias, but in this particular case, what was the lady's name, Jamie, that
I
ran the
don't
hotel?
know.
But her and Buford, supposedly she shot at Buford. Buford shot back and killed her. They say he murdered her. I don't know.
He shot her right in the head, didn't he? According to the movie.
Well, I think he shot her a couple times. 41 Magnum. What his preferred carry was.
If it was anything like the movie, that was what she was. She had a shotgun or something, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she had a.
His wife's
That's a
name
long
was
time.
Go ahead.
his wife's name was Pauline.
Right.
Buford Pusser's wife.
Yeah, Pauline Pusser.
He died not too long back, didn't he?
No, he died in a wreck.
Car wreck in the 70s.
Right.
Was it
He
70?
he was running his Corvette real hot and blew it up all over the highway, and people still say that the movie implied that it was tampered with. The brakes were.
Other folks say that he was ran off the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
McNairy County.
That's the definition of wrap your you know what in fiberglass, didn't it?
Yep.
So this stuff is just coming out, y'all.
It's not like it had been going on. I mean, you got to think about it.
Tim,
all those guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Rebel. Go ahead.
I was going to say Tim from Moonshiners did a couple of historical shows on different kind of moonshine things and different kind of moonshine wars. And that was a moonshine war at its core. And he brought up what some people said. And that particular show, he went to actual spots, but he didn't implicate Buford Pusser as being guilty. But he kind of left it open as to some say. Then I've seen another show which just downright took the angle of Buford was not what you think he was. He was dirty. So, and my grandmother said we were some kind of distant kin to him, but she said we were fifth cousins of Roy Clark too. So I, hell, I don't know. I don't know.
I got a great aunt that was Judge Roy Bean's cousin, or Judge Roy's sister.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true or not, but
yeah.
Was who's
I got something I would.
Judge Roy Bean, the hanging judge.
I got a topic I'd like to ask about.
All right.
This week we had a terrible accident, not an accident, but a terrible incident happened here in local. And this is involving 2A and all that, and capital, where you're protecting your house. I can't think of the word now. Castle Doctrine.
Yeah.
a bunch of 13-year-olds were playing Ding Dong Ditch. I don't know if you heard about this or
That's
not.
a dangerous game. Yep.
It is in today's society, yes. And one of them died from it.
Mm.
Were they just ringing doorbells, or were they kicking the doors in?
No, they were just ringing doorbells. That wasn't that type. I know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah, I've seen the ones where they kick the doors open. I shoot one of
This
them.
was just a playing Ding Dong Ditch, and the gentleman came out with a shotgun and hit one of them in the back and killed him.
That's murder.
Yeah, that's murder.
Please,
that's not Catholic doctrine.
Yeah, please make sure y'all understand that kind of stuff is murder. Yeah.
I got shot with rock salt stealing a man's watermelon. I deserved every daggum bit of it.
Yeah, but there ain't nothing sweeter than a swiped watermelon, though.
Yeah. You're right. You're right, Walter. Except when you get hit in the arm by a load of rock salt, you drop that watermelon.
Yeah, I reckon.
Well, in that case, nobody gets to enjoy it.
Exactly right. Yeah. That's Pauline.
That's Pauline, beautiful lady.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Walter, how's that old joke go? If these teenagers were snatching watermelons out of this farmer's farm, and the farmer, he's a little feeble. He couldn't get, fast enough to catch them. So he waited till they got him a watermelon and left, and he walked out there and he cut a plug hole in one of those watermelons and took a leak in it and tapped it back down in there, and he put a sign up and he said, "I hope y'all enjoyed that watermelon." He said, "One of these I've peed in." He went back and laid down and go to sleep. He said, "I think I can keep my watermelon patch." He came out the next morning, he looked, and there was a sign up that said, "Now there's more than one that got peed in."
Damn.
But that guy in Texas, though, once he's seen somebody running away and shoots him in the back, surely he could tell those were kids, because those kids weren't ringing a doorbell and standing there waiting for someone to come open it. They were hitting the doorbell and taking off. So it took some time between the time he got to his door, opened it. Those kids had to be
either that or he was waiting for them.
Yeah, but
like his third time coming to his door.
Well, that's still
Either way you look at it, I don't care what state you live in. I live in a wonderful state. We have very good gun laws and all that. But if you shoot somebody in the back when they're running away from you,
that's murder.
And they're not inside your house, that is murder. Mm-hmm. Even if they are inside your house, it can still be.
I just bring it up to the point that, everybody keep their cool about that kind of stuff. Don't
Absolutely.
Be pulling the trigger.
There's a difference if somebody comes in your house and they shot at you and they turn around, because they could easily be doing one of these.
Right.
But if somebody's broke in your house, grabbed your big screen TV, and they're running down the street with it on their shoulder, and
they're down the street
a block away, I'm sorry, that's murder.
Yeah, but now if you're in my house and I'm in there and you break in to steal my big screen TV,
I'm gonna shoot you then.
There's a difference in that. There's a difference in that.
Once you're out of the house, running with it on your shoulder, I'm going to call you a couple of expletives. And
if he's still on your property, you technically could, if he's got your property.
Sure.
But, once he's out and running away, no, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to.
No, that's what I got.
I'm not taking somebody's life over a TV.
No, it's
unless he's in my house. Because when he comes into your house, you don't know what's on his mind. You know, he could be in there just as easily to do you in as take your TV. So at that point,
now what?
If he comes in your house, you got every right.
But either way, if they're outside of my house, I don't care what they've taken. It's not worth the legal battle. I'll just buy another one of them.
If you got a shotgun and you got bird shot,
legal battle's going to get you.
If you got shotgun and you got bird shot, he's still on your property. He's running away. No, I'm not going to murder him, but
you're still going to go to jail.
I might kill his ankles.
In Georgia, you're still going to go to jail. It's not worth it.
charged with attempted.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Not worth it.
Exactly.
Well, and there again, you know, there's a lot of kudzu patches around here, and a bag of lime is cheap,
Here we
and
go.
I don't really like getting stole from. So, you know, I might not
You
say a
level,
daggum
you
thing.
level before we get in trouble.
I might not say a daggum thing, you know. And, you know, if poor Stevie went missing, well, daggum, I hate that, you know.
No,
Why his
officer,
grandma?
I can't explain why I'm taking my wood chipper to the car wash.
No, I done seen that wood chipper thing solved on one of them shows. So I ain't doing
Well,
the
they
wood
found a
chipper.
tooth in the bottom of the riverbed.
Yeah, that's right. I ain't doing that. No.
Ain't
I'm
that
all-
some crazy stuff? Out of he got away with the perfect crime, and then some Barney Fife finds a tooth while he's bass fishing with his kid.
Yeah, that's
Let's
exactly
figure
right.
out where this tooth came from.
Well, I mean, if you're getting rid of the kind of person that breaks in your house and steals something for money is more than likely a meth head, and
Yeah.
he ain't gonna be missed for like 2-3 weeks, maybe.
Right.
So
Maybe 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I ain't heard from him in about 6 months. You heard from him?
yeah, I'm telling you, that lime will go to work. Kudzu patch, shoot, what you talking about?
Yeah.
Wood chipper and a couple of hogs.
My point of
Full
these
of hogs.
topics,
Anyway,
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Jamie, we went off on a deep dive.
yeah. The point of me talking about this is not that I want to really talk about this kind of thing, but it's like how much corruption has gone on, and I think it's more prevalent in the South, and that's I've lived my whole life down here, y'all. I've never lived up north or in a big city or anything like that, but I think corruption is corruption, and I think it's
Yep.
been going on in the South longer than it has. I think it's been going on in the South since Reconstruction.
Yep, it has.
It's
And it
everywhere.
goes on today. There was a. I'm not going to. This didn't make the paper. I'm not going to mention any names. No one was ever found guilty, but a certain sheriff was retiring, and so his son was going to run for sheriff, and kind of had a dynasty thing going there, and ran for sheriff, and all of a sudden there was a group that just dogpiled him. He come to find out him and his girlfriend broke up, so he put a tracker on her car that belonged to the sheriff's department so he could watch what she was doing, this and that. There were allegations of drug money disappearing during Big Bus and all kind of stuff. Anyway, it he's the kind of guy that could go through something like that and come out smelling like a rose, but he ain't in law enforcement. All right. He ain't in law enforcement. I actually voted for the guy because y'all liked his dad. So I figured, well,
he's got
okay.
law enforcement in his back pocket.
Yep. But the forces in the sheriff's department, you got to remember, I live in a very highly Republican county. I mean, it is
Yes, you do.
red. So it was Republican against Republican, and it was local politics at its worst. And that's just one example. I had a U.S. North Carolina congressman who belongs to the same club I do that Jamie shot at, and he came in the shop the other day. Him and a retired judge, and they were coming in there shaking hands. I said, "There ain't no babies in here, so you can't steal candy from them." And the judge is just laughing at the congressman. He said, he's sticking you, buddy. He's sticking you, buddy. You know, and I asked him, I said, why can't you get a decent candidate for a Republican governor? Why don't you go into their house and check all their closets to make sure there's no skeletons in them? I don't expect y'all to know anything about a North Carolina governor's race, but the last Republican candidate was really promising until he started digging up old stuff, you know, and then they dogpiled him.
Then Pooper Scooper won.
Oh yeah, they dogpiled him, buddy, and they went after his wife. I mean, nothing's sacred, you know. It's dirty politics in the South. Jamie's right.
I had an incident. Me and a friend and his uncle. We was doing something, and let's just say we got detained at the jailhouse for a little while, and we seen a lot of corruption going on that day, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to get into it. It's getting time for Jamie to do his verse of the week.
Well, maybe he needs to pray for local politicians.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say about 10 years later, that sheriff got arrested for stuff he was involved in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it affected my family when I was a young kid. And I'll tell y'all after it was over with, when this is over.
Well, they made movies about it, Jamie. I mean, Gator McCluskey, all that stuff. You know, that was popular. A 1970s corrupt Southern. But there again, you look at you watch the original Godfather and look at the Irish captain that got paid not to pull the guard off of Vito Corleone and breaks Michael's jaw. That's corruption, you know.
Yeah, just look at Watergate.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a bunch of Republicans went to jail because the Democrats were running a whorehouse out of the Watergate towers.
Exactly.
How you figure that out?
And they were just trying to get dirt on it, you know.
That's like the Democrats letting that whorehouse in the little whorehouse in Texas.
Yep.
They were letting it go by.
And nobody's wanting to tell who was actually behind the little whorehouse on the island of Epstein's Island.
Okay.
But a lot of people have been arrested for trafficking young girls to nobody.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sick of Epstein.
Into.
When this is over with, I want y'all to look up. All you need to enter in your search engine is Peggy's, Rome, Georgia. That's all you got to put in there. That's it. You'll get pages and pages and pages.
Fun little place, was it, Jamie?
Well,
Jamie, are you blushing?
that was before my time. Really, it was. Peggy drove literally a pink Cadillac that rivaled any one that Elvis ever had.
Wow.
Buzz T. Fort, power anywhere can be corrupt. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Peggy's, huh? Sounds a lot like Porky's to me. Remember that movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that movie. I saw that movie 9 times in the movie theater.
That was a classic.
There was another one called Mabel's.
Mabel's.
But Peggy's is world famous. World famous.
Yeah, we didn't have any world famouses up here. All ours just said massage. You know, that's all they said.
We got one of them every 100 feet.
We got one in town that's the best massage.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
They get shut down pretty quick around here now. So
Yeah.
They've been trying to shut this place down for a long time, And the way they finally got to do it is because the girls were living there. And you can't live in a business, at least in this county.
You
And
can
that's
if
the
you're
only
getting-
way they could shut them down. They kept everything so much on the up and up. The only way they caught them was because they were living there.
But the
Well, then they
happy
just
ending.
loaded up and came to Birmingham.
No, they just moved across the street.
Another before we get to the verse of the week, Rebel mentioned the Dixie Mafia, where that was so famous was in right there in Georgia and Alabama, next to the Army base and
gonna say
Phoenix City, Alabama.
Yep. And
See-
if you crossed that man, he lived in Georgia. If you crossed that man or got crossways with him, they never heard from you again. But he was the nicest guy to his town there ever was. He gave to the church. He did this. He did that. But guess what? His business was based on moonshine.
What
White
was his
liquor.
name? Chavez?
Well,
Oh
they
no!
said that morning Buford Pusser got ambushed. Fort Benning garage guy says, yeah, that's it. They said that morning that he, see, his wife was leaving him. She was
Yep.
about to leave him and divorce him, and he was still in office. And I think that had a lot to do with that. But they exhumed her body and did an autopsy, which was never done in 1967. And they actually recovered projectiles. So,
Bama Dad, to answer your question, get on YouTube, Google, or just do a search in the red clay, and the podcast will come up, and you'll see it's very well done. It's about 7 or 8 different 2-hour stories, but he
See,
buried a
Walt-
lot of people.
yeah.
What was it called again? The channel or the?
In the red clay is the podcast. In
Okay.
the red clay.
Gotcha.
That's the
See,
most dangerous,
point-
dangerous man to ever come out of the South.
Our point is corruption. Walt's calling us gossips. We're stating facts, brother. This is all well documented stuff. So,
Yep. When gossip puts you in the riverbank, I mean deep in the riverbank, it ceases to become gossip. It means you're telling on the man, and the man's gonna get his. So
okay, here we go. Verse of the week. And we're talking about the 10 Commandments. And, we ought to skip to thou shalt not covet, is what we've been talking about tonight. Because that's.
oh Lord, you just did adultery. Stop. Just go to another one.
The next commandment is thou shalt not steal.
See, that's an easy one for me.
Yeah. If it ain't yours, don't mess with it.
That's right.
Done deal. Good job, Jamie.
Yeah.
This commands another important foundation for human society, establishing the right to personal property. God has clearly entrusted certain possessions to certain individuals, and other people or states are not permitted to take that property without due process of law. We can also steal from God. Of course, this demands we honor God with our financial resources, so we are not guilty of robbing him, and that's Malachi 3:8-10. But we can also rob God by refusing to give him ourselves for obedience in his service, because he bought us and owns us. 1 Peter 1:18-19 says, knowing that you were not redeemed with corruptible things like silver or gold but with the precious blood of Christ. 1 Corinthians 6:20 gives the same idea. For you were bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Ephesians 4:28 gives the solution to stealing. And that says, let him who stole steal no longer, but rather let him labor, working with his hands what is good, that he may have something to give him who has need. So in other words, instead of taking stuff that don't belong to us, we need to be working and earning so that we can live like nobody else and give like nobody else. Instead of taking stuff that don't belong to us, look for somebody who has a need and give to them. And that is the 8th commandment. We only have 2 left. And the next one is I'll probably get on my soapbox. Questions or comments?
Nothing else to say. This one is, I won't say it's easy. If it, all of these commandments were easy, God would have never had to lay down, as a commandment. He knew that, this is a dark corner in humans' minds is to
If all these
take stuff
commandments
that's
were
not
easy,
theirs.
then everybody be following them.
Exactly. So
That's probably the easiest one for me to follow.
yeah, ain't none of you guys got anything I want.
Because you already got everything.
Yeah, it must be.
I was going to say, so you're saying there's a chance.
But yeah.
Yeah, this one was a cut and dry one.
Amen, Fuzzy. Good to see Bulldog made it home safe.
And Fuzz, you ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong. It used to be. It used to
It
be.
used to be. So yeah, man, I appreciate all y'all letting me do the verse of the week. It's a blessing to me that I'm able to do that.
We're glad you do it, brother. We are. We enjoy it.
Yeah, I think
Waltz is begging you to go steal from him, Walter. He's got real Colt single action armies.
He's got real Colt 45s in his refrigerator. I think that's what he's talking about. And I don't want either one of them.
No.
I got a couple of Colt 45s in the gun safe, but they're not carbonated.
so. Let's talk about this comment right here. Bulldog. Thou shalt not steal. How about borrowing something for an extended period of time? Is that against the rules? Hey, man, if the person that owned it to you gave it to you, even with the premonition that one day you would bring it back, that's not stealing.
Jamie, I've got a really good friend of mine, and you met him at my wedding. And his neighbor came over and borrowed a shovel from him. And about 6 months goes by, and Kelly needed the shovel. And he goes to Eric and says, "Hey, you got my shovel? I need my shovel." "Oh, what do you need my shovel for? Or what do you need your shovel for?" He goes, "I'm making soup." He said, "What do you need a shovel to make soup for?" And Kelly goes, one excuse is as good as another one. Give him a damn shovel.
I love it. That's good.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I was gonna say to Sergeant Major, if the extended period of time, if the man comes over to whoop your hind end, you've kept it too long.
Yeah.
You've stole it.
Yeah, you ain't
You know.
wrong. Give
My
him a
dad,
damn shovel.
That's a good one, Mark.
my dad was the world's worst. He would borrow tools from a guy that lived across the street and forget that he had borrowed them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be out in the yard playing. Mr. Hicks would holler, "Hey, Mark, could you ask your dad if he's finished using such and such?" And I said, "Just tell me what it looks like. I'll go get it." And then Dad would go to do something, and he'd say, "Where's my wire strippers? Or where's my this? Or where's my that?" "Dad, those weren't yours."
I learned a long time ago, and my dad tried to tell me this when I was a kid. Neither a lender or a borrower be.
Mm-mm.
And I learned a long time ago that because when I was first starting out turning wrenches, I didn't have the right wrench to turn. But somebody else in the shop did. And one of the older guys, after I had borrowed the same tool a couple of times from him, he goes, "They sell those." He said, "I'll let you borrow something 3 times. On that 3rd time, you better be on the tow truck buying yours, or going to the store and getting one or something like that, because you ain't getting mine again. I'll let you borrow it 3 times. If you need to borrow it more than 3 times, you need one. That's it." And I've lived my life like that.
Yep.
That's a good point. And I had to learn with my 2 sons. Same thing.
My 2 sons. That's a great TV show.
Can I borrow your weed eater? Can I borrow your hedge trimmers? Nope.
No, but they sell them right down the street.
Nope. I'll come help you cut your yard. I'll come help you cut your grass, or I'll come help you trim your hedges. But no, I got too many times I'd call them and say, "Hey, you finished with my hedge trimmers?" "I don't have your hedge trimmers."
Okay. You ain't never going to have the next spare either.
Nope. Don't ask again. It's over.
And be sure to do all your hedge trimming at night.
I solved my problem. I bought
When I die, you'll have some hedge trimmers.
What'd you do, Mark?
I bought my son his own toolbox, his own tools, screwdrivers, pliers, tape measure, everything. And now I just steal his stuff.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Steal it back. Huh?
Yeah.
When I moved out from home, I lived in an apartment, so I didn't have anywhere to carry my tools and stuff, and I left them at my dad's in his shop. They all, they migrated to his tools. And I'd go up and go out to the shop and get whatever I needed to go fix something, and he'd say, "Remember where you got that, son?"
You need to
I
remember where
you got it.
So Bulldog's got this routine down pretty good, don't he? Check that out. I don't got that anymore. So and so borrowed it from me.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Well, see, this is where me and Mr. Bulldog are going to have a little bit of a conversation.
Yeah, and the
I didn't
and the
loan it
list
to
of,
so and so. I loaned it to you. Where is it? Give me my damn shovel.
I'm passing down the ass whoopings from there.
Okay, we need to start going through the room, I reckon, so we can clear the deck for Chad and them. Let's talk about bench rest. So I hope y'all go over there and support him. Let's see. Y'all be in prayer for CW. His dad his dad's in the hospital. Nothing too serious. We hope just blood sugar adjustment. Is that what you're hearing, Walter?
I haven't heard from him at all yet today, so since early this morning, so I'm not too sure either.
Yeah, that's the reason he's been having to do a lot of running around to get stuff straightened out. So y'all be in prayer for him and his dad. Other than that, Mark, you want to start us off?
Sure. Just been nice to be here. Was looking forward to it all week. I knew this was just going to be my evening to sit down and relax with some friends. Don't know really what I got coming up. I made one little surprise video this week. Got a nice package from Andy. Got some 3006 brass. And when I first put it all out there and counted it, I thought it was 73 pieces. But one of them was standing a little bit taller. I pulled it out of the bunch, and it was a 300 Win Mag. Now I have one piece of 300 Win Mag brass. And that's going to cause me to go out and buy a new set of dies, a bullet, and another rifle.
That was the door to that rabbit hole right there, wasn't it?
Yep. That's all it.
We'll
that's
see where
all
that
it
goes.
takes.
That's why I put off buying a 44 Magnum for so long. I'm like, great. Now I got to buy new bullet molds. Got to get new size and dies. Got to get new reloading dies. Got to get a new gun. And you can't have just one.
So that's all I got this week. Thanks for having me. Been great being here. Nice to see everybody over there in the side chat. Let's move it on. I don't know if Walter or Rebel wants to go next.
Mark, really quick, do you need more 300 Win Mag brass?
I might. We'll wait and see.
Okay, I've got. I don't even have a 300 Win Mag, but I've got a 30 cal can full of it. So,
if I need it, I'll let you know.
All right, that works.
Whichever way, Walter. Whatever you want to do.
I'll go. I don't have a whole lot happening. Let's see. I've got some shooting to do Monday. Monday's kind of been my range day, and I've got that new 1851 Colt and 36 caliber that I haven't shot yet. So I got some round balls cast up, and we'll go try that thing. Make sure it's going to shoot, and I don't blow my face off. And I got some others to do there. I've been kind of doing a bunch of 41 mag. I've still got one or two more 41 mag molds that I need to get out and try. And I don't know, you guys let me know what you think. I'm starting to get a little bit bored with myself with Wad Cutter Wednesday. I've still got 10 more wad cutters that I haven't put up there on that, but I might give that one a little vacation time and do some other stuff and then come back to it later. But
I'm loving it. It wakes me up every Wednesday morning. Actually, I'm already awake, but
well, maybe we'll keep going. Like I said, I've still got 10 more wad cutters, and we've already done 20. Anyway, so that's kind of what's going on here. Just cast, load, shoot, rinse, and repeat. So that's what's happening here. Kyle, what you got happening, buddy?
just watching your videos every Wednesday. I do. I love. I don't know if you have it set up to where it shoots it out at 6 o'clock in the morning or what, but
yeah, I do.
Okay, I didn't think you'd be up at that time of day, especially out over there. But it's always fun. I enjoy the crap out of them. I really do. I don't always comment on them, but I watch every one of them. I at least give them a thumbs up.
Good deal. All right. Well, we'll keep rolling with it then.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it, especially with those wad cutters that you sent me. I can't wait to get those going. I was just practicing my reloading skills with 44 Magnum regulars and 9mm, making sure I still knew how to work the press. I'm gonna play around with those wad cutters that you sent me. Just the whole idea of it's fun, Yeah. So that's what I got coming up, and maybe Jamie, me and you can get together and we can both be part of that together. Other than that, I'm just trying to take care of a mother with a broken hip and a wife with an ear infection, and so I got my hands full. Yep. So I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Right
here. There's harm.
Carry on, Mike.
Not too much planned, just working. We sold the poop out of hunting license this past week, but at least it was spread out over 3 days. So dove season didn't come in on a Saturday, so everybody didn't just gang pile us on Friday. It's amazing to people that I just realized my hunting license was out. Really? It's
probably
funny.
the same time that you bought it last year, dude.
It's exactly the same time. My
August 30th.
my personal record for that little shop is 185 hunting licenses in one day, and that's of various types. You know, I decided today I'm gonna get my lifetimes. Why don't you decide that tomorrow? You know, because I'm busy taking care of all this last minute crap. But it was spread out over 3 days. I let Trent, who's new to it, navigate it. I said, "There's nothing like trial by fire. You're not actually getting a trial by fire, but navigate it. And if you got any question." Trent got a little frustrated. I think one day I was trying to tell him how to do something. I heard him mumble under his breath, "I'm about sick of your shit today." And I called him back over. I said, "It's not my shit. It's the system shit." And he went, "Yeah, you're right." And he said, "It's very frustrating." I was like, "It is." I wouldn't expect y'all to know this. The whole Southeast has gone to a different system where it's called Go Outdoors North Carolina or Go Virginia North Carolina. I think Florida. I know Alabama has. I don't know about Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a money making. It's privatized now, so and it's a bunch of crap. Their customer services used to get a hold of somebody at the wildlife, but instantly now forget it. They might not be there Saturday. No, so it's frustrating. But anyway, between that and then dead times, me, Trent, and two other customers who were pretty good sized guys went to measuring each other's fist across the top, seeing who would make the biggest womp on your head. And I won at 5¼ inches across the top of my. I said, "But I ain't got no knuckles left. They've all been rolled under like it." And they were like, "Well, that's true. You got to get points for pinty knuckles." Yeah, so it was kind of a slow day, but we had fun. I can write that in my book of life. One day, we measured each other's fist to see whose would hurt first. And stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. All right, Tex, what you got?
Well, I'm going to start a new series on wad cutters myself, thanks to Mr. Wad Cutter over there. He commented on one of my videos. It's like, "Wow, wad cutters," and it's not Wad Cutter Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe I should start something like that. So I've got 6 different ones already. And I was telling Walter, he didn't know how many of the differences were. I go on Pyramid Air website. They have 46 different wad cutters in 177.
Jesus.
And they don't carry all the brands.
I was about to say, are you going to give any details about what the wad cutters are for? Because I'm really interested in this.
They're for shooting. They're making clean holes in paper. That's really all their wad cutters are for.
Well, I know, but talk about the. Okay, never mind. It's your time.
That's what they use in the Olympics too, wad cutters. So I'm trying to decide on whether to do 10 meters or not, like the Olympics do, or a little further distance. I was testing my rifle today for it. This one right up here. This is the one I'm going to be using. And at 10 meters, I was just one hole. So
Nice. Yeah.
I might want to stretch it out to see how they do a little bit further distance. I haven't figured that out yet.
Try 10 and 50.
Yeah, I don't want to go 50 with a wide cutter. It's too far. But 10 meters is, the Olympic length, but I may go out to 15 or something. But
Are you going to run a half a mile before you shoot?
oh no, I'm talking about the 10-meter where they stand there with that leather jacket on and all crunched up, But I'm going to sit on the bench and shoot. So,
I think it'd be cool. I'm look forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, got that planned, and I got another jug busting video I'm going to set up this weekend and do. So that's all I got planned for. How about you, Bama?
I got to pick up some powder and some bullets Monday and start making some ammo for the 300 PRC. And I guess I'll be going to Talladega to shoot. That's the only place I've got that, I can actually enjoy going and shooting right now. So we'll go up to the CMP and put some down range. See if I can't talk my buddy from Georgia into coming over.
I would love that. I dearly would. Maybe we'll make a video. Anyway, you done, Mark?
I'm done.
All right. Well, we thank y'all for being here this evening. And if you made it this far, we hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. Guys on the panel, I don't tell you thank you enough. I appreciate y'all more than you'll ever know. And again, we hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if He's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say